What's going on, you guys? We are working on Nightmare again. This is the car that I wrecked 6 months ago. If you haven't already seen it, it has a tree-shaped dent in the side, and yeah, it wasn't a good deal. I have no idea where we left off, but I got the frame kind of getting put back together here. Nightmare. I just spent the last couple hours doing this. Basically, I just tubed out the K-member again. I just capped the ends and welded in a little. I think I'm gonna put one more little bar up like that, like I did on Gator. From there, we're gonna be taking that guy right there, which is a steering rack, and welding it to that guy right. After that, we can get the steering column all bolted up. I already have it kind of set in there. I got a seat that I have already for it, so we can put that in, and I may actually close this hole up here because with a Turbo 400 or a 350, we don't need a hole that big for anything. We want to close this car up as much as possible because there's a very good chance that we have tire fires. The more we can close the cabin off, the better. I'm going to put a lot of time into doing that stuff. And it's done. I think it looks alright. Welds aren't the best, but they'll definitely hold, that's for sure. I'm going to paint that down real quick. Right around that time, I'm also going to start mounting the steering rack and stuff back in here. I made a bunch of progress here. I got some stuff welded in. This is all that non-glory work that no one really cares about. Pitman arm is welded in where it needs to be. I'm kind of shimming and adjusting that thing as I need it and slowly working in the steering and all that stuff. I'm going to have to make some brackets for this guy. That's not going to be a problem at all. It should work pretty good. That's how the setup was before I had a rack and pinion in the car. That's what we're going with again. So I've switched gears a little bit here. Long story short, when I close this door, there's a big gap there. I don't really care about the gap so much. The gap can be there so long as this door actually seals. In the case of a tire fire or something like that, I want the cabin completely sealed off. What I'm actually going to do on the inside is I'm actually going to like pretty much plate off the whole back with sheet steel so that no fire could ever get in there. This door, being that the door jammer is all sacked out, is not going to work very good. So what I've done is I actually cut a line all the way up the car, and I'm going to bend this back straight to where it was, so that should sit better. I'm probably also going to cut into here and then bend that back straight. I'm going to leave everything else how it is. We'll probably hold this door shut with like a chain, or maybe I'll even weld it shut. I'm not really sure. I got a little something to show you guys, just to prove how twisted this chassis actually is. This is the window, and it no longer lines up at all. It's probably pulling this whole roof skin and door back, which makes sense based on this line here. After further investigation and taking about 10 seconds to think about this, we're going in deep on this deal. What I'm gonna do, since there's a lot of stress up there and it's pulling the whole top of the car backward because of this wrinkle that I don't want to get rid of, I want to leave the wrinkle there. It tells the story, shows you what you shouldn't do, and also it really gives the car character. So I want to leave that there. What I'm gonna do, so I'm going to take the death wheel and cut from here all the way over here like that. And the whole roof is going to separate that way and forward, and that should allow everything to spring back to the way it wants to. And then I'll rescab a piece in here to connect the roof again. We're going in deep on this deal. I don't know. This is probably a bad idea. I put the biggest boogeriest weld that I could possibly make on here to hold this thing. I know, it's ugly. Here's a moment of truth here. That's much different from where it was. That clears. That actually lines up pretty good. It's not gonna be perfect, but we just have to do our best here. Just like that, after doing a whole bunch of damage, it is back. It's all better. It's fine. It's fine. In all seriousness, I just cut the roof off a little bit and then welded it back together. Welds aren't crazy good, I don't really care. I'm gonna do what they need to do. It'll work. That's about as far as I really care to go with it. I'll probably plate off some of the bottom here yet too. We're building the motor for it right now. Adam is working on the transmission. That hunk of garbage over there. I cleaned up a set of heads for it. These are just some 6-liter LS heads. They're 317 heads. It'll work for what I'm doing. I gotta clean up this crankshaft because it's got a little bit of a foobar in it. I'm just gonna use some sandpaper and some emery cloth and a shoelace. But I don't got a shoelace, so I went and stole one of my siblings' shoes, and they're not gonna miss it because they don't watch my videos. So I'm gonna go polish this crank up, and we'll start chucking pistons in the block. We are building the engine for this bed unit. It's right here in a bag. and voila! We're gonna get the dingle ball hone out, which I got right there, and clean up the cylinder walls, get this unit slapped together. We are also in the middle of painting the shop. You guys will see that later. Me and Caitlin knocked out the cam bearings last night. Huge pain in the butt, but they are in there, and I think we did a good job on them. Throwing a crank in this thing, we're gonna check the bearing clearances, and we're gonna stick the pistons and rods in one at a time, and pretty soon we're gonna have a short block out of this bad boy. I checked the plastic gauge on this here piston and the rod, and it looks absolutely perfect. And pretty soon we're gonna have a short block. The cam that I'm gonna be running in this sucker is gonna be the Truck Norris BTR cam. I just think they sound rowdy, and this is gonna be a burnout car. I mean, it doesn't need to make a crap ton of power. I mean, as long as it makes like, I don't know, 600, it'll be just fine, easily. Funny story though, I bought all this off of Evil Bay. I don't actually know if it's BTR stuff. Usually people stamp stuff in the back of a cam. This cam doesn't have that. The specs were right on the thing when I bought it. Everything matched up to the BTR Truck Norris cam. I'm gonna send it. It was like $400 cheaper to buy everything through eBay. So we're just kind of doing one of those. Cam is in. I got the timing chain on. I'm soaking some lifters right now in oil so they kind of pump up a little bit. While I'm doing that, I'm going to be pulling the springs out of this thing and putting a different set of valve springs in. Blaze helped me put the valve springs in. Now I got him putting in the trunnion kit. I'm going to be putting in the lifters. I'm finally at the point where I get to put the heads on this thing, and I got them over there. They're all cleaned up. That's where I'm going to end this video off, you guys. We got an engine block that's pretty much all put together. The car has got steering and stuff in it already. Seats going in the back. I'm working on a fuel system, and I got the ECU and all that stuff. We're getting a lot closer to getting this thing together. Adam's building a Turbo 400 for it that I picked up a couple days ago. It's going to be a one rowdy burnout car. It's going to be a lot of fun to drive. I'm going to see if I can get into some sort of like events and stuff and put on like mid-time shows, because that would be really cool, I think. If you guys want to see this car come to life, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Leave me a like on the video. Share my stuff with your buddies. Maybe they'll like my car content like you guys do. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.